Did you know that nearly 99% of all deaths after the age of 75 can be traced back to just a handful of causes? For many people, this comes as a surprise. We're used to thinking of aging as a mysterious and uncontrollable process, something that just happens. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if the real danger lies not in the years themselves, but in the quiet, slow-building threats that we often ignore until it's far too late? The truth is, most people don't realize how much control they actually have over their health, even in their 70s, 80s, and beyond. And that's exactly what we're here to talk about today. Because once you understand the true causes behind most of these late-life deaths, you can start making small, powerful changes. Changes that might just keep you independent longer, let you enjoy more moments with the people you love, and protect you from the pain, confusion, and fear that so often accompany serious illness. In this video, we're going to explore 5 of the most common reasons why people over 75 pass away. Not to scare you, but to empower you. These causes aren't destiny. They're not set in stone. They're patterns. Patterns we can interrupt. Patterns we can change. And when you know how to spot them early and take gentle but consistent action, you give yourself a better chance at something we all want: more good years. If this topic resonates with you, or if you're thinking of someone you care about, a parent, a spouse, a neighbor, take a moment now to share this video with them. Sometimes a single conversation sparked by the right information can change someone's entire future. Your act of sharing could be the gift that helps someone avoid what they never saw coming. Let's begin with one of the most powerful, yet often misunderstood, culprits. For many older adults, heart disease is viewed as a natural part of aging, something that's just bound to happen eventually. But in truth, your heart is much more responsive to your daily habits than you might believe. It's not about waiting for symptoms like chest pain to appear. By then, the damage may already be underway. It's about tuning in sooner. Recognizing that things like consistent fatigue, shortness of breath, or even just a vague sense of slowing down could be quiet signals from a struggling heart. Over time, things like high blood pressure and poor diet begin to chip away at the heart's resilience. The arteries narrow, the workload increases, the body adjusts until it can't. And what was once just an occasional discomfort becomes something much more serious. Yet there is so much hope here. Gentle movement, even a few minutes each day, can breathe life back into circulation. Swapping processed snacks for colorful, whole foods gives your heart the building blocks it's been silently craving. And perhaps most importantly, understanding that you're not helpless, that the decisions you make this week, what you put on your plate, how you move your body, how you handle stress, are the very things that shape the strength of your heart next year. That shift in perspective alone can be powerful. If you're still watching, it means this message is reaching the right heart, and that matters. Take a second now to let us know you're here. Drop a quick "still here" or even just a heart emoji in the comments. It's a small thing, but it helps us know these conversations are needed. Let's talk about something that doesn't always make headlines, but often leads to irreversible outcomes: falling. One moment, everything feels fine. The next, a foot slips, a balance is lost, and suddenly, life is never quite the same again. For someone over 75, a single fall can start a chain reaction that impacts every part of their life: mobility, independence, confidence. But here's what most people don't realize. The risk of falling doesn't come out of nowhere. It builds gradually through subtle shifts in strength, coordination, and reaction time. You might feel steady today, but without regular movement, that stability quietly erodes. The tragedy is that many people don't see it coming until it's too late. And even then, fear often sets in. After one fall or near miss, many older adults begin to limit their movement out of caution. They walk less, sit more, and slowly, their muscles shrink and their balance worsens. It's a heartbreaking loop. But again, there's a way out. Strengthening exercises, even simple ones done while sitting, can rebuild what's been lost. Making your home a little safer, removing loose rugs, improving lighting, installing handrails can reduce the chances of an accident before it happens. And most importantly, talking to your doctor about medications that may affect balance or alertness can be a game changer. You don't have to accept falling as a part of aging. You can push back gently but consistently and protect your freedom of movement. It's possible and it's worth it. Breathing. It's something we do without thinking every minute of every day. But as we grow older, it can quietly become one of the most fragile parts of our health. Most people don't realize how vital strong lungs are until something goes wrong. After 75, respiratory diseases become one of the leading causes of death. And not because they strike suddenly, but because they build silently. A persistent cough, occasional wheezing, or shortness of breath may seem like small nuisances. But these can be early signs that your lungs are struggling, and they deserve attention. Conditions like chronic bronchitis or emphysema don't begin with a crisis. They begin with mild symptoms that are easy to ignore. Over time, inflammation and damage make breathing harder, and that can lead to serious infections, hospitalizations, and irreversible decline. There's also pneumonia, a word we often hear but may not fully respect. For someone younger, it might be a tough illness that passes. But for older adults, pneumonia can be deadly. The immune system isn't as quick or strong as it once was. A simple cold can evolve into a life-threatening situation in days. And while we can't stop aging, we can protect our lungs. Staying physically active is one of the most effective things you can do. Movement helps the lungs expand fully, clear mucus, and stay strong. Small activities like walking or stretching can make a surprising difference. So can improving the air around you, opening windows, using an air purifier, and avoiding smoke or harsh chemicals. Even something as simple as regular vaccines for flu or pneumonia can be a life-saving choice. When it comes to breathing, never wait until it's a crisis. Care for your lungs now while they're still doing their quiet, constant work for you. And if you're still watching, thank you. It means you're not just listening, you're preparing, taking your health into your own hands. That kind of awareness is a strength, and it deserves to be shared. If this reminded you of someone, maybe a friend who coughs often or a neighbor who struggles with breathing, share this video with them. It might help more than you know. Let's move into something even more urgent, a stroke. It arrives like lightning. No time to plan, no time to react. Just a sudden moment that can change everything. For those over 75, strokes are among the most common and devastating medical events. But here's the part that's hardest to accept, and also the most empowering. Most strokes are preventable. They don't have to happen. And knowing what to watch for, what to ask your doctor, and what changes to make now could be the difference between years of independence and a single moment that takes it all away. Strokes happen when blood flow to the brain is blocked or when a vessel ruptures. Either way, brain cells begin to die within minutes. The effects can range from confusion to paralysis, from speech loss to sudden death. But often, the warning signs show up long before that final event. High blood pressure is one of the biggest culprits, quietly damaging arteries over time. And irregular heart rhythms, like atrial fibrillation, can increase clot risks that may go unnoticed until it's too late. The good news? These are detectable. A routine checkup can identify them. And treatment, whether it's medication or simple lifestyle shifts, can dramatically reduce the danger. And just like with the heart and lungs, what you eat matters. Diets high in salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats weaken blood vessels and increase pressure inside them. Movement matters too. Staying active keeps your blood flowing and your body responsive. And don't ignore those mini strokes, brief moments of confusion, vision changes, or difficulty speaking. They may last only seconds, but they are loud whispers from your body saying, please pay attention. Each breath, each step, each bite you take is part of a bigger picture, a life that's still yours to shape. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aware enough to ask questions, brave enough to act, gentle enough to keep going, even when it's hard. We'll move to the final part in the next section. Don't go anywhere. We're about to talk about the one change that sneaks up most quietly of all. There's something uniquely painful about losing parts of yourself without realizing it. That's the nature of cognitive decline. It doesn't announce itself loudly or come knocking at the door like a heart attack or a fall. It creeps in gently, almost lovingly, disguised as little forgettings. A name that slips your mind, a date that doesn't seem familiar, a word that used to come easily, but now hides just out of reach. At first it seems harmless. We laugh it off. We call it a senior moment. But over time, those moments stack up, and suddenly we begin to question whether we're still the same person. For those over 75, cognitive decline is not just frustrating, it can become life-changing. And yet, it's one of the most misunderstood and underestimated challenges of aging. Many people assume memory loss is inevitable, but that belief alone is dangerous, because when we think it's out of our control, we stop trying. The truth is, while aging can impact the brain, our lifestyle has a powerful influence on how quickly or slowly that decline happens. The brain, like the body, thrives on use. It thrives on connection, on challenge, on novelty. When we isolate ourselves, stop learning new things, or let routines replace curiosity, the brain starts to quiet down. And with that silence comes loss. But the great hope here is this: change is still possible. Reading a new book, picking up a hobby, solving puzzles, engaging in thoughtful conversation, these aren't just pastimes. They're protection. They're the gym for your mind. And so is movement. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, nourishing it with oxygen and nutrients. Even a gentle walk can help keep cognitive function sharper. So can what you eat. Diets rich in leafy greens, berries, nuts, and omega-3 fats have been shown to support brain health. At the same time, avoiding processed foods and sugars can reduce the kind of inflammation that damages mental clarity over time. And perhaps most importantly of all, staying socially connected. Loneliness, especially chronic loneliness, can accelerate decline faster than many physical ailments. Staying in touch, whether through a phone call, a walk with a neighbor, or time with grandchildren, matters more than most of us know. And if you're still here, still following this journey, please take a moment. Leave a comment below to say you're watching, or maybe tag someone who would benefit from hearing this. These messages aren't just about awareness. They're about community, about not facing this part of life alone. So now we've talked about the 5 biggest threats that quietly take away life after 75. But we haven't finished yet. Because behind each of these risks, whether it's heart disease, falling, breathing problems, stroke, or cognitive loss, is a deeper truth. That truth is this: we have more control than we think. Not total control, not immunity, but influence. And that's everything. Every choice we make today, no matter how small, either brings us closer to health or away from it. A little more movement, a little better food, a few minutes of connection, they add up, they shift the balance, and most importantly, they build a life with fewer regrets. Aging doesn't have to mean fading. It can mean refining, returning to what matters, living deeper, slower, more intentionally. So don't be afraid of these truths. Let them inspire you. Let them guide you to ask better questions at your next checkup. Let them remind you to call that friend, take that walk, eat that colorful meal. This life is still yours to shape. Thank you for staying with us to the end. And if this video helped you, inspired you, or made you think, please share it. Because sometimes the smallest reminder can spark the biggest change in someone's life. We hope to see you again soon.